Hello, I'm Angela Mboy, and this is Capital Online TV News. Let's take a look at the day's top stories. Former Cabinet Minister Nicholas Biwott's widow, Hannah, remembers her husband as a noble and humble man who was always there for her and the entire country. Speaking during the Requiem service attended by, among others, former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete, she said her late husband never prided himself on his good deeds or sought to elevate himself through connections.
He never threw names. He was a humble man. And as a humble man, Kenya will remember him and I hope forever appreciate him.
Biwott's children, led by Investment Secretary Esther Koimet, said their father was generous, proud, and always supportive of them.
You were a very fascinating man, a man of great wisdom. I learned so much from you. The way you simplified complex issues and found solutions where none seemed to exist. The way you stayed above negativity and pettiness and always maintained your objectivity.
Whenever I rang my dad, he would answer by singing, Gloria in excelsis Deo, setting the mood for conversation, and instantly my face would beam. Whenever he suspected that I am troubled about a thing, he would start singing, whatever will be, que sera, sera.
While crediting Biwott with spearheading the regional infrastructure developments such as the North and Southern Corridor, Kikwete said the East African community has lost a man who was determined to unite the region for the sake of integration and development.
East Africa has lost one of its dedicated sons. He has been so much dedicated to East Africa. So in that fateful meeting, where we almost not going to get an agreement, and it would have been a shame on my part, kwamba I chaired a meeting that failed. Lakini through his wisdom, we were able to get to that agreement. Na kwa Kenya ni kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kuwapeni miaka 77 ya kuishi na kupata mchango wa ndugu Biwott.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President William Ruto have said the Jubilee administration wants to bring an end to the problem of squatters, which many previously powerful politicians have exasperated for political reasons. The president and his deputy said they do not want to see any Kenyan, especially in the coastal region, living as a squatter on his or her own land. They spoke in Shimoni Kwale County, where local leaders vowed that the residents of the county will overwhelmingly vote for Jubilee to liberate themselves. President Kenyatta said the Jubilee administration has distributed more than 40,000 title deeds in Kwale County alone as part of its action plan to empower Kenyans to own property to enable them to create wealth.
Title deeds, shida ya mashamba ambaye imekuwa changamoto kubwa katika Kwale hii miaka enda miaka rudi. Sisi tuliwaambia ya kwamba sisi hatutalaumu mtu. Sisi hatutapiga siasa na mambo ya mashamba. Sisi tutatatua shida ya mashamba. Pwani hii tumepatiana zaidi ya title deeds 1,300. 300,000. Zaidi ya title zile ambazo zilikuwa zimetolewa kutoka wakati ya mzungu mpaka Jubilee ifike. Jameni, kweli tuwatatua shida, hatutatui. Hizo titles ambazo tumepatiana hapa ni njia heri na ya kwanza ya kumaliza umaskini. Kila karatasi ambayo tumetoa hapa ni karibu kati ya shilingi milioni 1 shilingi 1,500. Ikiwa ni watu 1,000 wamepata hiyo vyeti, si hiyo ni pesa kwa mifuko yao? Kweli ama sio kweli? Na mimi siwaambii muuze, mushikilie, mujenge, mukodeshe watu. Si ni kweli? Si ni kweli? Lakini hiyo ni utajiri tumelete hapa kwenu Ushimoni.
The Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission says it will publish a list of all the polling stations to be used during the August general election by the end of this week. The electoral body's chief executive officer, Ezra Chiloba, says the network coverage strength of all the polling will also be made public. Chiloba says the success of results transmission will depend on the availability of network coverage and that the Commission is working with all network providers. He further indicated that the Commission is considering the possibility of having results transmitted from the nearest area with proper network coverage if the network in the polling station is not strong enough. Chiloba stated that the Commission is also working on publishing the names of voters by this Thursday. And finally, the Health Cabinet Secretary, Clea Famailu, says the national government is working with the county government to make sure that the cholera outbreak is maintained. Mailu was optimistic that the combined efforts and cooperation will ensure that the pandemic, which has so far claimed 3 lives, is contained. He reiterated that the government has revoked all health licenses to give small businessmen as a stopgap measure. He stated that they will have to reissue afresh after thorough investigation. And that's a wrap-up of the day's top stories. I've been your host, Angela Wamboi. For more on these and other stories, log on to www.capitalfm.co.ke/TV.